Uh, uh, um, what is up, guys? It's us. It's been a while. I'm Dennis.
I'm Nate,
My name is Dacon.
and that's Andrew.
Hashtag
It's
Dacon.
Daquan Trolled.
I got called a new name.
Um,
Deacon.
we haven't. Deacon.
Yeah, you get called Deacon.
We haven't played in a long time. We haven't talked in a long time, so we're doing a thing that needs to be done for a long time. It's the podcast of zoo animals while they're dabbing.
Very true.
I
Mythical.
may or may not have just dabbed.
And I may or may not have just cringed. I did
Alright.
cringe, actually.
I was gonna say, like, did you like cringe up your nose too? Or is that just me?
Yeah.
So, anyways, we're doing something a little bit different today. Since
We're doing a podcast.
yeah, that's not really different.
Dennis came out of hibernation.
That's very different, very different. But yeah, Christmas, as we all know, is in 2 weeks.
Very
We're
true.
pulling off a Christmas special because we can't record next week.
Or
Very
probably the week
very
after.
sometimes.
We're not doing it the week after.
Why? Why? Because Mr. Finger is never home.
What are you doing the week after?
Vera said that Mr. Finger's never home because Mr.
The
Finger's like
week
Santa
after?
Claus to us.
It's Christmas and then something.
Anyways, yeah, so we're probably taking 2
I don't
weeks
even know
off.
what day it is.
Christmas is on a Tuesday.
Andrew, you appear to be dying, my friend. I'm sorry.
I've been dying
Oh
for the
my
past
goodness.
2.5 months.
Everybody's dying. Stop, please.
I've been the start of dying.
You are the Black Plague itself.
Actually, I'm a white plague. Thank you. Get it right.
Okay.
Okay. This is how we're doing things already.
No, it's not.
Dude,
So
I'm playing
anyways,
with black people right now.
all right, this man's playing
What's up?
a new Destiny 2
I get to
DLC
play
that we
black
talked
people
about.
now. Yeah, so I haven't played video games in like 2 weeks, so now I'm catching up on Destiny.
This man's
mean-
never home.
Like, just a quick question. How do you feel about Destiny still, seeing as...
I
Oh,
just
a
turned
bunch
it
of
on,
people-
so I don't know.
Oh. Okay, never mind then. Don't...
Still doing better than Fallout.
Any game's still doing better than Fallout.
So
That is
sad.
no lie. No cap.
So sad. Bethesda released their
That is
worst game
very
ever.
sad indeed. Poor game.
It had
Such
so much
high
potential, and then it
expectations,
just
such little res-
died.
You're right. The
Oh.
hype for it was, I feel like, overhyped now that it's like out there.
I
I
mean,
hope
it's a
it doesn't hurt the next Elder Scrolls
probably not.
The next Elder Scrolls?
next year or whenever that comes out.
Probably not. I don't see it hurting it.
Seems
Like,
legit. I don't think it would. Why would it?
I mean, Fallout was a great series, and
Well,
it got ruined. So people might be skeptical when the next Elder Scrolls comes out that it might get ruined, especially if they do.
well,
I hope they don't do multiplayer again, but they might. I mean, look at Elder Scrolls Online. Elder Scrolls Online kind of
If
wonked.
if anything, they'll probably scrap the multiplayer aspect after they sell 76 and just rebuild it.
Yeah. It's just too much to handle for them, to be honest. Like, there's just too much, like,
They're used to
coding
making
and stuff that they weren't ready for.
they're used to
I mean,
making
they're
single
fault-
player
I feel
stuff.
I feel like they made it too, they made Fallout 76 way too reliant on the fact that other humans weren't out yet, and that like multiplayer was strict to be able to see other humans. Like, I feel like that's where they messed up with it. It wasn't just the fact that everything just went on everything.
I agree. I
It was
agree.
like-
Yeah.
That like they just were too reliant on the multiplayer aspect. Like, I feel like if you put Fallout 4 with multiplayer, great. That'd be amazing, because then you still have other NPCs there, but like they wouldn't be reliant on players playing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I feel
Well-
like because they relied on that so much, there was a lack of players.
Like I said before we
Yeah.
started, like they want you to play with your friends, and like especially like me, like Dennis, you're the only person I played Fallout with. So if I don't have anybody
Right.
else, it's just boring. It's just me
feelings.
in an empty world with a bunch of random people that I don't know and I don't trust. So
I don't trust none of y'all. At
steal
all.
my $4, my pre-war money that I pick up.
Pre-war
pins.
money.
I still have pre-war money. I don't know what it's for. I think you can sell it.
Yeah, you sell it. It's never done anything.
But it's also never taken up space in your inventory until this game.
I didn't play much
Bottle
of it. I played
caps.
it and then I played it for a little bit. I thought it was pretty good at the start, and then just like Andrew, the game did not meet my expectations on to what I thought it was going to be. It ended up being just a pile of dookie. That's what that game was a pile of dookie. And you can quote me on that. Oh, my voice just like cracked. Like no.
Quote me on that.
Dookie.
Scroll wheel.
It was a game that needed to happen to keep Bethesda alive, but at the same time, it didn't need to happen the way it did. But you know, only time will tell. Maybe they'll patches, and maybe they'll really.
Well, now that now that they've released people into the world, I feel like their DLC should bring NPCs into the game to make it better. I don't know how to word that.
No, that's
Like-
what I was saying. I said the first DLC should be like maybe you actually run into someone.
Yeah, like they know that the big emptiness is a huge problem, so they can try to fix it and bring it back with the DLCs.
Mm-hmm.
But
Maybe that'll be our Christmas gift since this podcast is supposed to be about Christmas.
like it's a Christmas special. I never said how to do anything but Christmas. But since you bring it up, what are you wishing for Christmas this year?
Answers.
Okay, what physical gift?
Love.
That's not physical.
I mean, in
That
a
is
way it
emotional.
is.
It can be.
What the heck, guys? Okay, Andrew, what physical gift would you want for Christmas?
I want a hug.
I give you a hug. Come here.
I
Let
feel
me
bad
just,
now.
let me just hug my
You're
mic.
not
Hold
the
up.
same as this man.
I'm hugging my mic. Hug your mic.
Just licked my mic. It got a little weirder than it
That's
should've.
not. It's not a hug, Dennis.
It can be. Hug with
That is a
tongue, I
very,
don't know.
very sexual hug if you lick me.
I'm not related to this
is
guy.
going to go very... We do not condone, nor do we own him. He's not licensed. We just kind of rent it
Hi,
weekly.
I'm Dennis. Wait, you rent me?
I mean, we rent him
like
for our whole
rent-a-figure.
lives.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're like Luke and get your whole hand cut off, then you have none.
We rent him
but
for content. The content rent.
what's
What is this?
I don't really want anything for Christmas. To be
I don't
honest.
know.
I know people are gonna like get me
All I
something,
want for
but
Christmas is my two front teeth.
I
My
don't-
two front
I
teeth.
want a
front
hippo.
teeth.
like I said,
Oh,
for
that's a great
Thanksgiving.
song. That song's a banger.
Anyways,
No, like you, Andrew, I don't want anything for Christmas, and I know people are gonna get me stuff, but like, I just want to get through this season with my head still attached for once.
Oh my gosh.
you don't want your head to be like a bobby pin, not a bobby pin, a bobblehead.
No, I'm good. No, I'm good. What
I
about you,
don't think he
Nate?
wants that one either. I want a stick. I can burn
Okay.
it for heat. It's so
it cold?
cold up here. It's so cold.
He's got the snow right now to deal with.
Wait, the black armory's
Oh.
been inside the tower this whole time?
What? What?
Nothing. Continue.
I see the corny joke you did there, but like, what?
It wasn't a joke. I'm asking a serious question.
Oh.
Like you go to the tower and they open up a new part of the tower and you go through the building and there's a black armory
Oh.
inside the tower.
Oh. That's. Yeah, that sounds like the last time I played Destiny. I don't know. Destiny
laugh,
doesn't appease me anymore because, like, I don't know.
Oh, I always have to do at least one of the
Like-
DLCs. That's my thing.
Well, yeah, like, I want to do it just to see, what the big hype about it is, because I'm still a Destiny fan at heart, no matter what. Like, I will never abandon Destiny, but I will stop playing it for a little bit.
That's how it's always been for me. Is I stop for months and then I come back.
Right. I only come back when something grabs my, like, attention.
Yeah. Well, right now for me it's a DLC plus the Dawning.
It's like
I usually
people.
have to play a little bit.
It's like people.
Video games are like people. You only come back when they grab your attention.
It's so true. And then they add like DLC,
Dang.
and it's like, oh yeah, I really want to know.
DLC, and you're like, oh yeah, I really wanted this one.
If only
It's the
it can
new
make
baby
things better
DLC.
sometimes.
Your wife got it. Joke's on you.
Oh.
It's not yours.
No, that is not a DLC. That sometimes can be worse than a
That's
DLC.
not a DLC.
It's a virus. It's a virus.
No. Kids are great. No. I want kids.
No, I love kids.
but I'm
Don't get
just
me wrong.
saying it's
I
not-
want a son. I would love a son, but I'm
Because
too
that-
young for that.
That's a lot more money than a $30 DLC.
I mean,
the DLC
It's
better
it's
give me
$30 to
money.
begin with, and then it's $2,000 later on.
I better get a return on investment when I get older. That's all I'm saying.
Return investment.
Can I return it? Can I return this?
30 years later, could I return this?
No. Like, he pays for my stuff.
not my
Like, I get old enough and he takes over finger painting and, he starts.
Get it? Yeah, I got that. That's funny.
Got what?
It's actually it shouldn't be that funny.
I think you killed Nate with your joke.
What's so funny?
I think he's dying from
I
finger
wasn't making
painting.
a joke.
not
I
a
want him
joke?
to pay for my
Was
retirement home.
that was? Oh, that wasn't a joke. The finger painting thing.
No,
Oh
this
no,
is,
I'm actually starting a business.
This
a
is the
finger
actual
painting
company
company
he's
called
making.
Finger painting.
Oh,
I'm gonna be a
I
painter.
did not know this.
he just told me before we started.
Probably because I was hooking up my equipment before.
Yeah, get your facts together, Nate.
So I didn't-
Be here.
That's beautiful. I love that.
I think we killed Nate. Anyways, let's move on.
You do a magical job.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, but not return on investment. Like I want to return my child. I want him to like pay for my crap. Like, hey, I'm not paying for your
Retirement
college. You're paying
funds.
for mine. Like,
Wait. What?
Oh, does it work like
exactly.
Wait a second.
Okay.
You're gonna go to college at 80 something.
Sure.
that? Jeez, how old is your kid?
Probably like 40.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you do the math, roughly
60?
around 40, because the Dennis is what? Dennis, you're about to be 20
22.
something, yeah? Yeah, roughly. Give or take, he's probably gonna have a kid around age of 30, maybe at minimum. So by the time his kid hits college, he's gonna be about 20. So Dennis will be, let's see, 30 plus 20, 60. But then paying for all that is gonna be about, because after him having a job, that's gonna be another 10 years, like of promotions and everything like that. So that 70, 80, somewhere around that range.
Yeah.
Quick math.
Math?
Dennis just math.
I don't know what kind of math you took
Sorry,
in
pardon
high
my tongue
school.
different. What? No, that's
I
simple
gotta
math.
Jeez, what kind of chemicals did you mix?
The
Mixed
good
all the
ones?
chemicals.
And go poop. One said you had to stay. It's did you hear that the
Turn on
or
my best
did you watch
Sorry.
the
Sorry.
the new Metro trailer came out?
No, I haven't. This has been my day for the last 2 weeks. I wake up at 8:30, I wake up at 8 every morning, go to the church, work at the church from 9 o'clock till about 9 o'clock, and then we work a little bit, go home, have like an
Okay.
hour-long phone call with Marianne or someone, go to sleep, and then wake up in the morning and do it again every day. I haven't watched YouTube, I haven't watched TV, I haven't done anything as a human.
Haven't done anything human. That doesn't sound too healthy.
No, it's not really good. I'm starting to get like drained and exhausted, and just emotionally and physically.
There's a certain point where you kind of need to take a break.
Well, that's what today was. I got home at 3 after the food pantry and went to bed.
It's like getting vacation time at work. They have to because they can't work you all the time. Well, because if like something
It's
happens
different when
to
you're
you,
trying to. It's different when you're trying to start your own business, though. Not necessarily that, but bio and stuff like that. It's whatever. It's life.
that's more voluntarily, but
For
still,
me,
you
it's
you
not.
got to know how to manage yourself, not
I know.
overstretch yourself.
But for me, it's not voluntary. I'm trying to build something that I can do full time,
But remember, your mental health comes before like everything
and
else.
for
though.
other people to do full time.
That's like been a big thing for me because like I've heard of like people when they start businesses, like sometimes like if they don't give themselves breaks, they can actually like severely hurt like their mental stability.
Yeah. Well, the other issue is like a lot of like now people are starting to talk to me about their problems, and like it's not helping me because I'm trying to help them when like
Vice
for
versa.
me stuff is happening too. So, that's got deep.
Very.
Becoming a father figure to
When
everyone.
podcast gets deep.
I feel like it sometimes.
Father of mine, tell me where have you been?
I've been home by my recliner.
Do you not know that song?
Nope.
Who, me?
Oh, you disappoint me.
I don't know what
Do
you're
you
doing.
know that song?
Maybe not.
Oh,
Butterfree.
you make. I went down, down, down the burning ring of fire.
I know that song.
Burn, burn, burn.
Grandma got
reference.
run over by a reindeer.
Coming
Not
home
the same
from
song
this
at all.
Christmas special.
From our house, Christmas Eve.
I can't hit people with my guns, 'cause I'm trash at video games.
So sit down and have some hot chocolate.
People are going to declick right now.
We are making a very cringy thing.
Video.
So I hope you stay and watch with me.
Probably not.
Because we are losing ad revenue. It's not that we
I
even
never
had
had
it
to
anyways.
begin
I was gonna say, did we have it to begin with?
with.
No. Technically, I did a long time ago. Then they took it away from me, so I don't have it anymore.
When was this time? When was this?
Before you were
A
born.
couple years ago.
Before I was born. Are you sure?
Well, apparently, Nate's 2 years old.
You know how old I am. I was gonna say, apparently I'm young.
So when are you paying for my college?
I'm your son?
How about my college? I actually pay for my college right now.
I gotta pay for my own. What do you mean, brother?
I'm
No,
not going
I
to college
already
yet.
paid my college off.
Wait, what grade are you in, Nate? You junior?
Me? No.
Yeah. You're sophomore?
Dual enrollment, bruh.
I don't wear one of those.
That's what I was trying to do, or I did actually a little bit. I got all my math credits in 1 year of high school.
You said I thought no.
I was-
I just completely blanked out of what you said.
That's why I was able to jump right into my my personal finance course.
I made sure I had like music any class I did. In my senior year, I got to the
Yeah, I
point
had
where I
business.
was in band like 5 out of my 7 periods.
That's a lot of periods
The
to
heck?
have for one man.
Shut up.
Oh, Andrew with the classical voice crack.
I don't want to hear it.
I don't want to hear your sass.
I don't want your sass.
Yeah. Door open.
Open door.
Open.
Door. Open. You hear that
So-
Alexa now works with Xbox?
This is what I said when I joined the party.
What'd you say?
I said, "Oh, apparently the Alexa's on Xbox now."
Oh. I didn't
And
hear
Nate
that.
made a noise.
Oh, I did? Oh, whoops. Well, yeah, I'm not paying attention.
I didn't even hear you say that.
Thanks, an avocado.
Wow, an avocado. Thanks.
Thanks.
So, going back to when you guys were kids, did you? How excited were you to open presents?
Expect to live this long?
Okay, that too. How excited were you to open
Very
presents
important
and
one.
like wake up to see presents under a tree? If you had a tree, I don't know.
Okay, so for my family, it wasn't. It was to the point. It wasn't where like, if not everybody was awake, you don't open presents. So like for me,
Yeah.
like when it happened, like I was excited, like when I saw presents, but I never got to open them, or like do anything with them by myself, or like be the last one awake. I was always the first one awake, with the highest anticipation of everything. So, I mean,
I should have
For me,
figured
it
out
was-
Santa
I-
wasn't real sooner.
Shh. Some people might not know.
you can't say that.
We're just kidding, guys. Santa's believable. He's not.
Unbelievable. He didn't say real. He just goes. He said, "Yeah,
Santa is
Santa's
a-
believable."
I mean, if you believe in Santa, then he's real.
Santa's actually
If
a
not, then he's not. Simple as that.
How does? I'm not gonna get into it.
That I just contradicted everything, I believe. But
Yeah,
About what
you
you
really
believe, Andrew, as a
look, shut up.
fellow Jesus follower.
Bad wording. Okay. Point is, if you think Santa Claus is real, then be my guest. I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying he
More
is.
power towards you.
If my future child that's paying for my college is watching this video right now, Santa's real. I'm Santa. Santa's real.
You believe it. This guy will dress up as your Santa.
I keep him alive for you.
I can
Dennis
be
the
your
Third.
Santa.
I can see you being the
baby.
Santa as a dad.
Yeah, I'm
That'd
gonna
be
make it really, really
hilarious.
good for my kids.
I need you to grow a long white beard.
Oh, you can do
I
it.
don't like facial hair.
You don't like facial hair? Oh, that's tough.
No. It's tough because I need to be Santa. I think the reason Andrew
Exactly.
wants me to look like Santa is so he can pay me to come to his house on Christmas Day, so his kids actually think Santa's in the house.
Aww. It's freaking adorable.
I don't know about that.
Oh.
I'll do it for you, kid.
Kid. Did you call me?
Kid. Billy the Kid was a kid forever. Apparently. There was like an ant.
Oh,
on the
you're
line.
kidding.
Oh no, is this what?
Haha, get it. Yeah. Anyways, going back to the question. He shared his stories. How about you, Dennis?
What?
How excited were you to open presents on Christmas morning?
I was excited. I mean, there was one thing I always asked for as a kid, but I never got. You remember at Sears back in the day?
Do I remember Sears? Yeah, I do. They closed down. We no longer remember
Yeah,
them.
no, U-Haul. No, they used to have these TVs that were like shaped like Mickey Mouse. It had like it was like looked like Mickey Mouse and had the ears and everything on it. And I always wanted one of those tube TVs. I never got one as a kid, and I always asked for it every year. And Santa's like, "I can't do it this year, kid. I can't do it this year, kid." And I'm like, "Come on, Santa."
Yeah, you get like
you're supposed to be
everything
helping
else
out
that
here,
you
man.
don't want.
Well, I always gave. I think my. What? No, but I always gave. I always gave reindeer carrots. That's all I remember. I think my favorite thing about Christmas was giving my parents gifts with like my little allowance. I used to like buy everyone the same gift every year. So like my uncle, every year I'd buy him like a sketchbook because he's an artist, and like my aunt would always be like a purse that she didn't like because she like only likes Coach purses or those expensive purses. It's like, lady, listen, I got you something. Accept it. I'm 5 years old and I'm buying you this crap.
Let it be. Let it be.
You're right.
Yeah, you're echoing a lot, by the way.
Well, that's fine for me.
I just wanted to point it out.
What was your favorite part of whatever the question was?
I was for Christmas. I for the most part I'd open it alone. Like I'd start opening before my parents came down. Then there's some times where like my mom had to work in the mornings, so I would have to wait. I remember there was one year like I couldn't wait, so I remember looking at my dad, and I'd grab a present, and I'm just still looking at him, and I'm slowly opening the present, and he's just looking back at me, and still with like a death stare. I'm like, am I gonna get in trouble?
Yeah,
I'm
Dad,
like,
what you gonna do?
nah, I'm just gonna keep opening the present.
What you gonna do about it, Papa?
He did nothing. I didn't get in trouble for it, but I forgot what it was. It was like a box of something.
Box of chocolate.
I honestly don't remember half the Christmas presents I've ever gotten.
I got a bike one time,
Kind of, but
and I got Spider-Man web shooter that I sprayed on my mom's face as soon as you put the cartridge in.
I got one of those.
Yeah, dude.
So part 2 for this question. Were you ever like you ever just like see some of your friends and be jealous of like something they got instead of like that you didn't get that you wanted?
No,
Nothing?
not really ever.
How about you, Nate?
What? Sorry, I blanked out.
Were you ever jealous of like something that your friends got that you really wanted?
I mean, like out of my friends, I was always like I don't want to say poor, but I was always like the kind of like the lower end of like my friend group's like wealth. So like, yeah, there's a little bit of like, oh man, but I never really like envied or like wanted something they had because I was like, my family and everything like bought this for me. Like that means so much to me.
You're so used to
point, I was
getting
like,
it,
I
it
don't
has
want-
such a sentimental value at that point.
Right.
It's like being a grown up and getting socks. Be like, this is the best present ever.
Dude,
Right?
when I was a kid, I think it was like this is when I realized I was becoming more of a person. Um, my the one every time I got a gift, I was like, at least it's better than socks. At least it's better than socks. The last gift for me underneath the tree was a box of socks.
Love it. I barely got
And I couldn't
clothes.
say anything. I was like, at least it's better than underwear.
Oh, little did you know, but those socks saved many days.
I guess they were white socks. Now I wear black socks. So. Yeah.
Cool.
What's your favorite kind of Christmas cookie?
Oh, okay. So like my grandma
Snickerdoodle.
makes these types of Christmas cookies, and like they're like super good. So the cookie is
Mhm.
soft underneath, right? But there's like so much icing on it, and it never hardens up. It always like is like a soft icing almost. Like it just never hardens up. It always tastes like it's fresh.
It's grandma's cookies,
Awesome.
man. Grandma's have that secret ingredient.
Grandma's defined like the laws of physics and like anything when it comes to making food. I kid you not.
Like what
I'm
you
personally
need.
a fan of M&M
What you need.
cookies.
You need roast beef. I'll make it to you in 5 minutes.
M&M cookies are
Very much.
great.
I love Snickerdoodle every year. My
My
favorite
mom
kind of
used to
cookie.
make Butterfinger cookies.
Ooh, that sounds good. Like really good.
They were great. She would take Butterfinger like chocolate chips that they don't no longer make anymore because she was trying to send me a box of cookies from North Carolina, and like she's like, oh, they didn't have Butterfingers this year, and I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, but I'm sending brownies instead. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay.
Even better.
Even better. Man's best friend is a brownie, not a dog. I don't know what anyone ever thought was that.
Forget a
about.
dog.
Just name your dog Brownie, you know? Next morning, he'll have a chunk missing. Your parents would be like, what is this? You'd be like, I don't know.
You know, I'm good. Corn had a white dog named Brownie, so.
Oh.
It's just
What?
like,
Oh.
What
Aww.
are you on?
It's an aw fest. Aww.
I really want to get into ASMR.
Sounds like the Rune Santa.
Oh, just watch my last podcast, Dennis.
I'm sorry, I'll stop now.
You good? Hold up.
You going to take a pull up?
Who me? No, my cat.
Oh.
She was
You hear
yelling to come in.
background.
Yeah, I pooped on my cat's face.
Dinosaurs, kittens.
So,
Oh. Okay.
so while we're talking about cookies, did you guys ever leave cookies and milk out and then they are actually gone in the morning?
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
course.
my parents taught me that they were the ones that ate the cookies. They made cookies so that they would enjoy them.
That's, I mean,
They made like my mom would make whatever she likes to eat and then eat it, and then especially when they started bodybuilding and they couldn't eat cookies anymore, they would just put them in a bag and bring them to my grandpa the next day when we went to the house.
that's great.
Nah, my family was always my grandpa that ate them because he's like the heftier one out of all of us. Like he's the bigger one.
Hefty.
He always knew to like
Wimpy,
control
wimpy,
himself
wimpy.
out because it's always one bite of a cookie and a few sips of milk.
My
It was
cat's
always
trying to
the
put her
rule of
head
Santa.
inside my pants right now. It's freaking me out. Hey, girl.
That's
Oh,
pretty
what?
weird.
Yeah,
That's
my
pretty,
pants are hanging. Oh my
weird
god, it
there,
feels
my
she's
friend.
tickle. Andrew, you know how the bottom of my kneecap is really ticklish?
I didn't know that, but thanks for telling me.
Okay, now you know.
Oh my god.
She's putting.
Shut up. Go on.
She's putting her head like under there, and it's like really ticklish because she's super soft.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bet she never gets cold. With all that fat in her. She's packed for the
Nope, same
winter.
as me. Dude, apparently being fat's a beneficial thing.
For like 2 months of the year.
No, not for that.
We live in
still
Florida.
sweat even during the cold. No, for other reasons. So there's this thing.
Called fat awareness? I know.
Today during the food pantry, we're not allowed to give people a certain drink. This drink we have, you know that bottle of wine stuff we have that's like all that berry mix and wheatgrass stuff. It looks like a wine bottle.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were talking about it today while making bags for homeless and stuff like that. We were putting it inside a bag, stuff inside of a bag, and we're like, oh, we can't pass this out. And then we were talking about it with Tim, and Tim goes, dude, this stuff will wake you up or flush you out. And I'm like, ooh, I should drink a whole bottle of it in like a few seconds. And you know how I drink like actual wine, like when I used to drink, I would chug the whole thing really, really fast and be done with it the rest of the day. Yeah, I decided to drink that, and after I'd finished drinking it, Kyle reads the ingredients in the back of it, and he's like, you're probably going to feel on fire at some point. And I go, what do you mean? He's like, this stuff is supposed to, it's a blood cleanser as well as, accidental juice cleanse.
Okay,
you're
is
gonna be
sing
in the
that.
bathroom pooping. Yeah. He's like, if you start itching and feel hot, it's because of the blood cleaner. I'm like, all right, cool. So I got really, really hyper and started shaking after drinking it. It was crazy. And I don't know if you saw the video on Facebook the other day that Marianne posted on bio.
With you, Jazz, and Kyle
With
sitting
me
on the
trying to
table.
flip a spoon in my
Yeah.
mouth. Yeah, that was me after eating a K-cup. Like, just straight up pouring the stuff down my throat and eating it.
You gonna die soon. I don't think you're living to 80.
I don't think you
Yeah,
can
but
get
dude,
that
I'm a-
college fundage.
I'll pop some kids out, though. Let me tell you.
That'd be painful if you were.
Yeah, I was thinking about
Gotta
that.
do what you
the other
gotta
day. I'm like, that's gonna hurt.
Gotta
you,
do what
you
you
better
gotta do.
you better hope your madam does it instead of you.
Like
I
I
don't
says,
even know at this
madam.
point anymore. I'm gonna be single the rest of my life, even though I'm talking to someone and
Oh, the
stuff's happening. I'm still gonna be
the
single.
single ladies.
Oh,
What were we talking about before I went off and talked about juice cleansing and?
I believe we're talking about
Milk and
cookies and
cookies.
milk.
Oh yeah. I used to leave stuff for reindeers.
Oh,
But you already said something
finally
like that.
someone that cares about the reindeer.
Yeah, I used to leave carrots out and be like, hey, make sure you give this to Rudolph. And then like one year there was a note that said, yeah, Rudolph isn't coming this year. And I'm like, what?
He's gonna
Who's
guide
your
his
slave knight,
sleigh.
Santa. Santa. Is he
Santa,
okay?
why have you lied to me?
Did you care about the reindeer too?
I never
didn't.
cared for the reindeer. Reindeers can get.
Y'all going straight to hell.
Look, if they were rain cats, I would agree, and I would take care of them.
Yeah, but how Santa could give you stuff if they die? I mean, yes, a Ford Ranger may be a great Christmas gift for Santa Claus,
If
but
he's so great at making this stuff, then make a portal gun, alright?
It's just,
he doesn't make it. His elves do.
well,
I
then
haven't
tell
seen a
them.
portal gun yet, so I'm pretty sure that they don't know what they're doing anymore.
It's quantum physics, that's all it is.
Just over here, like the office lady is just like stamping every toy with like denied, denied, denied. You see the look on their face, like I want to go home.
Well, I haven't been home in 364 days.
Yeah, pretty much.
I have a wife and kids I need to attend to.
Well, imagine how sad that is. Like once a year they get to go home, and like the guy goes, I don't know if my kid is actually born yet or not. He goes home, and like the wife has like 5 different kids with like a black kid too. And it's like, wait, honey,
Wait a minute.
you cheated on me? and like the wife is like, it's not what it looks like. This is actually your kid. And he goes, but why is he saying ho ho ho? Santa? Santa?
Santa.
This is my imagination. The kid loves cookies too.
Great imagination, there, bug fella.
Let it run wild. Like the
Wild,
reindeer.
run free.
Live strong.
That no one apparently feeds.
Oh,
What? I think we all went different places.
rip my reindeer friend. Nope, I went with Dennis's fast.
So while we're singing, what do you guys think about Christmas music? Because I know a lot of people aren't a big fan of
I
it.
hate it.
Okay.
Only one song I like.
Hate it.
Want a plane that loops the loop. Me.
I want a hula hoop.
That's the only Christmas song I like.
I don't even know the lyrics to that in that part. I can't
Alvin.
understand them.
Alvin, okay.
Yeah, when it gets around Christmas, I literally have like Christmas on Pandora everywhere I go. Like I'm always listening to Christmas music no matter what. So like I'll have like that. I'll have the entire Grinch story come on. It's like half an hour long.
What? See, I like Transcendent Orchestra too. Like, those are the only.
Yeah,
things I'll
they-
actually
they
listen
come
to.
on
Little Drummer Boy,
every now and
kill
then.
it.
Do you prefer
Burn
them
that
or
song,
Mannheim
please.
Steamroller though?
Trans-Siberian.
Okay.
Some wonderful stuff
Trans-Siberian
right there.
Orchestra all the way.
I can't say I've ever heard of that. I'm not even gonna lie about it.
You've never heard of
Whereas, like, all the
Trans-Siberian
music I
Orchestra?
listen to. Nope.
Oh my! Look it up.
You know who's got a good Christmas album right now? Tyler, the freaking Creator. He's got a good Christmas album right now. Y'all
know
never
who
heard
that
of him
is.
probably, but
I've heard
Yeah,
of him,
nice.
but what?
He
What's
wrote
his
the,
song
he
sound
wrote-
like?
it's rap. It's
That's
it's
why
rap.
I've never heard of
Leave
it.
at that. Well, it's like he went from like a he's had like 3 phases, I guess. Like he went from like joking rap to rage rap to like more this like emotionally connected.
Hmm.
Like a lot of his stuff is very mellow. It's lyrically pleasing. Like you can actually understand what he's saying.
It's cool.
He's been in the rap game for quite some time.
I think Toby
Like, that
Mac's
is-
the only one that's been around
that-
longer.
Probably.
Toby Mac's been around since like the 90s, 80s.
Do you know that
He's
Rock?
50.
rock has been like the number one category of music for a long time, and then this year hip hop finally beat it.
Dang.
So hip hop right now is the number one style of music.
Oh, so Ivan and I talked about it today. Remember that ska stuff he was trying to show me?
Yeah.
So I finally listened to a good one that he was trying to show me, and it's not bad. It's kind of has a POD mixed into it. And we were talking, and we were like, Jamie may not be for it, but we found out Kyle used to be a brass leader when he was in band, or whatever they call it.
You
You
mean a band captain
Well, no, he was like the
or a
brass
section head?
captain or whatever.
The brass
we were
section
talking
captain.
about it, and we were like, dude.
There's plenty of
what if we
names for
actually-
him.
Like, he's like, Andrew was really into drums, so that'd be cool. David has that punky kind of sound because he used to do rock groups. And, like,
we
could
have
actually
like
do something
we have
like that.
all the materials and all the people to make our own band and go somewhere with it, but we choose not to, and that's what I don't like about what we're doing.
Well, the music, that's the thing too, is that the music aspect is all Jamie. Ivan and I can't do anything really. We can write songs and come up with ideas for you guys to do, but Jamie has the final say ultimately. So if you have anyone to get mad at, it's her.
The
Ivan
thing
and I
is,
want to move.
she wants to do full-time worship, like worship style music.
I know. That's why we have multiple things going on. That's why I call it Bio Music Productions and not Bioluminescence like she does.
True.
Because then you can do rock, you can do hip hop, you can do rap or worship or whatever the heck she wants to do, whatever the heck anyone wants to do. Granted, she could have her own band on there, her own band name, but I told her, I said, Bioluminescence is not the band. Bioluminescence is the non-profit organization. You need to change the name.
Man, we've already chosen this name. You need to choose something else.
Like, I told her, I said, what about We Are Lights? Like, that'd be a cool name for a band.
It's too straightforward and simple, though.
Well, she was talking about doing bio band. I'm like, stop putting the word band or worships in there. Like, ew.
You need something that's going to stand out and has a meaning behind what it says.
Well, that's why I had like 1BC earlier. Sounds dumb, but it was like one before. She loved it for a little while, and then she just stopped, and then she went back and was like, "Hey, we're bioluminescence with bioluminescence." That sounds stupid. Yes, we're bioluminescence with bioluminescence. Doesn't make sense. We really don't understand ourselves, but hey.
So anyways, let's
It's like,
stop arguing about things.
I'm not arguing. I'm arguing with myself, it sounds like.
Complaining. Supposed to love, Dennis. Supposed to love.
No, I do love him. Just letting you know my input on that. I mean, like, yeah,
We gotta love one another.
we do.
I do love one
She's my
another.
aunt.
She's your aunt? Oh, she got a little ant farm?
No.
That'd be
So what
pretty
I thought-
funny if your aunt lived on a farm. You can literally call it the ant farm.
I actually have a great aunt that owns a farm, so.
Close enough.
Mhm.
Well,
So what other questions you got for us, Andrew? Or is this pretty much a wrap for you?
I'm out. I mean,
Nate, you got anything you
what,
want to
what
add?
else is there for Christmas, you know? Make it something Christmas related.
Where
Yeah,
you guys traveling anywhere?
I would get into it, but I feel like it'd be too deep if I start talking about Christmas.
I know you've had some troubled times, but that's why I didn't bring up like personal stuff.
Yeah. So we're bioluminescence with bioluminescence.
Welcome to the podcast. We call ourselves the podcast. Welcome to our podcast.
That actually sounds better
just
than
the
what Jamie
cast.
wants to call the band.
How much these?
Welcome to the podcast. We are people from the podcast doing the podcast. Welcome to our podcast. Dennis is now connecting. I am very scared.
Uh oh. Andrew, do we panic?
Panic ball. Oh, it's
Hello?
back. Ha.
Hello?
Oh, we can stop panicking, Nate.
What happened?
Welcome back. The panic. You were connecting.
Hi.
So anyways, I think that pretty much wraps it up unless anyone else got anything. Oh, Nate mentioned traveling.
I travel to my grandma's house every year, so.
Is that up in Georgia, I think?
No, I live in my grandma's house.
I was about to say, like, you live there.
I also used to live there as a kid, so it really wasn't that much traveling.
I mean,
Went to my aunt's house.
get to go there in 2 weeks.
She lives down the road.
What's something?
Within like a 30-minute vicinity. I know, like, after I moved to Florida, I would always visit my family in Virginia. But recently, I just haven't had the money or time. My parents can't really take time off work to go do that, so it kind of sucks. But it is what it
I'm
is.
sorry, my friend.
Sometimes they come and visit during the summer,
Yeah.
so
Be
it
like
makes
that.
up for it.
No, Nate.
What?
It'd be
What do
like
you-
that.
Oh, it
What
really
it
be
do?
like that.
But really do. Oh, I dropped my earbud.
Nice.
Oopsies.
You want to hear me drop into the water bottle like I did earlier?
Sure.
Yes.
Cool. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. We'll see you whenever. Probably like
Hi,
3
I'm
weeks.
Dennis. About 2 weeks.
Something like that. I don't know. It'll be after Christmas. But
I'm Dennis.
wish you all happy holidays. Be safe and Merry Christmas. Which means the same thing as Happy
Happy
Holidays.
Hanukkah.
Happy Kwanzaa. Whatever holiday you
I'm
celebrate.
Dennis.
Merry Jewish New
Oh
Year.
my. Goodbye.
I'm Dennis.